At this very moment, as you're watching this, someone over 60 is bending down to tie their shoe, rolling their neck to loosen up, or standing quickly from their favorite chair. A 2024 American Heart Association review found nearly one-third of strokes in older adults begin with routine motions performed at the wrong time. In exactly 37 seconds, one of those innocent movements will trigger a blood clot that races to their brain. By tomorrow morning, they won't be able to say their spouse's name, lift their coffee cup, or remember why they walked into the kitchen. The terrifying part? They did everything right. They exercised daily. They stayed active. They followed every piece of advice about healthy aging. But nobody warned them that after 60, the very exercises keeping them young could be silently setting up the perfect conditions for a devastating stroke. I'm about to reveal 9 common exercises, movements you probably did this morning, that are quietly increasing your stroke risk with every repetition. Not in 10 years, not someday, tonight, while you sleep. These aren't extreme activities. They're doctor-recommended, senior-approved movements hiding a deadly secret that could steal your independence in a heartbeat. Type "Protect Me" in the comments if you're ready to discover which everyday exercises could be your brain's worst enemy. And tell me, where are you watching from? Drop your city below. I need to know how far this life-saving warning is reaching. Hit subscribe and ring that bell, because what you're about to learn could be the difference between walking your grandchild down the aisle or watching from a wheelchair. Let me paint you a picture that haunts my dreams. Mr. Edward Millstone, 74, a retired history teacher from Nebraska. Every morning for 40 years, he touched his toes 5 times to stay young. Last Tuesday, after his usual routine, he felt slightly dizzy. 3 hours later, his wife found him collapsed in the garden, right arm useless, unable to speak his own name. The CT scan showed exactly what I feared. A clot had formed during those innocent toe touches and traveled to his brain's motor center. Edward now walks with a cane and cries when he tries to write, all because of a stretch he thought was saving him. Here's the brutal truth about aging that nobody tells you. After 60, your blood vessels aren't flexible tubes anymore. They're rigid pipes. Your blood pressure doesn't adjust smoothly. It lurches. Your brain doesn't bounce back from oxygen drops. It suffers permanent damage. The exercises that built your strength at 40 are now building clots at 70. Type 1 in the comments if you're still with me. Type 0 if this is too scary. I need to know you're ready for what comes next. Exercise number 9 that's secretly destroying your brain is toe touches and forward bends. Yes, the stretch you've done every morning since high school is now your brain's worst nightmare. When you bend forward after 60, something sinister happens inside your skull. Blood rushes away from your brain faster than your aging arteries can compensate. Those baroreceptors, the sensors controlling blood flow, have lost their sensitivity. They're like smoke detectors with dying batteries, too slow to sound the alarm. In those few seconds of bending, your brain becomes starved for oxygen. Not enough to make you faint, but enough to thicken your blood, slow circulation, and create the perfect environment for clot formation. The worst part? You feel nothing. Maybe slight dizziness you brush off as getting older. But inside, microclots are forming in vessels already narrowed by age. One wrong move, one extra bend, and that clot breaks free, racing toward your brain like a bullet you'll never see coming. Speech centers, movement control, memory, gone in an instant because you wanted to stay flexible. Safe alternative: sit in a chair to put on shoes. Rise slowly from any bent position. If you must stretch, do it seated with your head above your heart. Your brain will thank you by letting you remember your grandchildren's names tomorrow. Next up, the relaxing yoga pose that's actually flooding your brain with blood it can't handle. Exercise number 8, putting your brain at risk, is inverted yoga poses, legs up the wall. Downward dog, any position where your head drops below your heart. Yoga instructors call these poses rejuvenating. I call them stroke rehearsals. Here's why. When you invert your body after 60, blood doesn't flow to your brain, it floods it. Your cerebral autoregulation system, the brain's pressure valve, is worn out. It can't handle the surge. Picture a garden hose that's been in the sun for decades. Brittle, cracked, ready to burst. That's your brain's blood vessels during an inversion. The pressure builds, vessels swell, and sometimes they pop. Mrs. Evelyn Thomas, 74, loved her gentle senior yoga class. During a legs-up-the-wall pose, she felt a sharp pain behind her eyes. That night, her daughter found her collapsed, unable to speak. The diagnosis, hemorrhagic stroke caused by cranial pressure spike. She survived, but lost her artistic abilities and struggles to find simple words. The tragedy? Her instructor never warned her. The class was labeled Senior Safe. But safe for who? Not for someone with aging vessels, blood pressure medication, and a brain that needs steady flow, not tidal waves. Protect yourself. Skip all inversions. Choose seated yoga. Keep your head level or above your heart. If an instructor pushes inversions, find a new class. Your life is worth more than their routine. But if yoga can be dangerous, wait until you hear about the everyday activity that's even deadlier. Exercise number 7 that's threatening your brain is heavy lifting. And I'm not talking about barbells. I mean grocery bags, laundry baskets, even moving a garden hose. When you lift and hold your breath, which everyone does unconsciously, you trigger the Valsalva maneuver. Your blood pressure rockets from 120 to 200 in seconds. For young bodies, no problem. For you, it's like setting off a grenade in your arteries. George Pickett, 82, retired firefighter, proud of his strength, lifted a box of canned goods from his car, felt his head explode with pressure, collapsed. The clot that had been building in his carotid artery for years finally broke free, lodging in his brain's highway. George now uses a walker and speaks in whispers. Every time you strain to lift something, anything, you're playing Russian roulette with your brain. Those narrowed arteries can't handle the pressure surge. Plaque breaks loose, clots form, and your independence disappears in the time it takes to carry in groceries. The fix is simple. Use a cart. Make multiple trips with lighter loads. Breathe continuously while lifting. Ask for help. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Your brain cells are worth more than your pride. Now, for the exercise that happens dozens of times daily without you even thinking about it. Exercise number 6, sabotaging your brain, is sudden standing from chairs. That simple act of getting up for coffee could be triggering a stroke before you reach the kitchen. When you stand quickly after 60, gravity becomes your enemy. Blood pools in your legs faster than your aging system can pump it back up. Your brain suddenly loses 20% of its blood supply. Not enough to faint, but enough to damage. Carol Jensen, 79, practiced sit-to-stand exercises daily on her therapist's advice. Good for balance, they said. One morning, she stood quickly and felt strange. Seconds later, her right side went weak. The stroke had already begun. Today she needs a cane and struggles with simple words. Your blood pressure medications make this worse. Beta blockers, diuretics, they slow your body's ability to adjust. That moment of dizziness isn't aging. It's your brain screaming for oxygen while clots form in the shadows. New rule, count to 3 before standing. Use armrests always. Pause before walking. Let your brain catch up to your body. Speed is no longer your friend. It's your enemy. Speaking of enemies, the next one wears a friendly mask. Exercise number 5, endangering your brain, is walking in heat or humidity. Your daily walk, that doctor-recommended activity, becomes deadly when the temperature rises. After 60, you don't feel thirsty until you're already dangerously dehydrated. Your blood thickens like syrup. Circulation slows. clots form, and that healthy walk becomes a stroke waiting to happen. Harold Dunn, 84, walked daily after lunch. Kentucky summer hit 95 degrees. He didn't adjust his routine. "I'm used to it," he said. Next morning, confused, collapsed, right arm useless. His blood had thickened overnight from dehydration. The clot formed while he slept. In heat, your aging body can't regulate temperature or fluids properly. Sweat steals water you can't afford to lose. Blood pressure medications make it worse. That proud walk becomes a death march for brain cells. Solution: walk early morning only. Drink water before, during, after. Skip days over 80 degrees. Add electrolytes. Your brain needs steady hydration more than you need to prove you're tough. The next exercise might be the most shocking yet. Exercise number 4 that could trigger a stroke is neck circles and rotations. That innocent stretch to loosen up could literally tear open the arteries feeding your brain. Your vertebral arteries wind through your neck bones like delicate ribbons. When you roll your neck in circles, you're stretching those ribbons beyond their limit. After 60, they're not elastic, they're brittle. One wrong twist, and they tear. Dennis Lyle, 72, did neck rolls every morning after brushing his teeth. One day, sharp pain behind his ear, dizziness, collapse. Vertebral artery dissection, the medical term for a tear. The clot traveled to his brainstem. Dennis now uses a wheelchair and plays piano with one hand. Those arteries weren't designed for twisting. Medications make vessel walls more fragile. That satisfying neck pop could be your artery screaming its last warning. The clot forms at the tear site, then breaks free, heading straight for your brain's control center. Never do full neck circles. Turn gently side to side only. Stop at the first sign of discomfort. If you hear clicking or feel dizzy, seek help immediately. Your neck isn't just holding up your head, it's protecting your brain's lifeline. But modern fitness trends hide even greater dangers. Exercise number 3, risking your brain, is high-intensity interval training, HIIT. Those senior-specific workout videos promising to boost metabolism are actually boosting your stroke risk. HIIT forces your heart from resting to racing in seconds. Your 70-year-old arteries can't expand and contract like young elastic. They crack, plaque ruptures, clots form, all while you think you're getting healthier. Donald Whitaker, 74, followed a senior HIIT video daily. Step touches, fast arm raises, modified burpees. After one session, he went for coffee, dropped the cup, slumped against counter. CT scan showed his carotid artery had released a clot during a power interval. Donald now lives in assisted living, struggling with speech and memory. Your aging vessels need steady, gentle flow, not tsunamis. HIIT is designed for young bodies with flexible arteries. Yours are different now. One pressure spike during exercise could dislodge plaque you've been carrying for decades. Choose walking, swimming, tai chi. Steady wins. Intensity kills. Your brain doesn't need shock training. It needs consistent, gentle circulation. Save HIIT for people whose arteries can handle the assault. The next danger is something you do every morning. Exercise number 2, threatening your brain, is stretching before warming up. That morning stretch routine you've done for decades, it's shocking vessels that aren't ready for the demand. Cold muscles mean constricted blood vessels. When you suddenly stretch, reaching for toes, pulling shoulders, you force brittle arteries to expand before they're prepared. The result? Vessel shock, blood flow disruption, and perfect conditions for clot formation. Eileen Granger, 78, stretched before her morning walk. Forward bends, quad stretches, shoulder rolls. Halfway through her walk, lightheaded, balance gone, words wouldn't come. Small stroke in left parietal lobe. The pre-walk stretching had caused vascular mismatch, allowing clots to form. Your morning body is dehydrated, stiff, vulnerable. Forcing stretches creates pressure differentials your aging system can't balance. Blood rushes, drops, surges, chaos in vessels that need calm. New routine. Walk around home 5 to 10 minutes first. Let circulation wake naturally. Save stretches for after exercise when vessels are warm and ready. Morning stretches feel good, but could cost you everything. Finally, the exercise that seems safest but hides the deadliest trap. Exercise number 1 that could steal your independence is balance exercises without support. Standing on one leg, using wobble boards, practicing without holding on, it's not building balance, it's building disaster. The danger isn't just falling, it's what happens after. When you fall, even minor trauma triggers massive inflammation, stress hormones surge, blood pressure spikes, clotting factors activate. Your body creates clots to protect you from injury. Those clots then travel to your brain. Walter Harris, 81, practiced one-leg stands from an online video. No support nearby. Foot slipped, fell sideways, hit shoulder and head lightly. That night, confused, right arm numb, couldn't speak. The fall triggered inflammation that formed a clot. Stroke followed hours later. Balance training requires support always. Wall, chair, railing. They're not crutches, they're insurance. The goal isn't proving you can stand alone. It's ensuring you can stand tomorrow. One fall creates a cascade your aging body can't stop. So what can you do safely? Walk with purpose, not speed. Use support always. Warm up before any movement. Stay hydrated constantly. Exercise mornings when alert. Listen to warning signs, dizziness, fatigue, pressure. Move with wisdom, not ego. Your brain is counting on you to protect it. Every exercise choice matters more now. Choose movements that support steady circulation, not shocks. Choose safety that preserves independence, not risks that steal it. Comment "brain safe" if you're ready to change how you exercise starting today. Share this with everyone over 60. You might save them from a stroke tonight. Subscribe for next week's video on the 5 morning habits that protect your brain naturally. Remember, you're not fragile, but you are different. Your exercise should reflect the wisdom you've earned, not the youth you've left behind. Protect your brain like your life depends on it, because it does. This information is for educational purposes only and should not replace professional medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before changing exercise routines, especially if you have cardiovascular conditions or take medications.